What is up, people? It is Monday night, December 7th, 2020. This is TPN, The Walk On, coming to you on all streaming platforms via the Props Network. I am Joel Walkowski. I am here to talk betting, sports, comedy, gambling with my good friend, the Techie Trekkie, who's on a little vacay today, Brian Allen Mitchell. How are you, Bri?
What's up, man? Feeling good, feeling groovy. My team's 9-3. Never been here before. I love it so much.
I'm so glad I met you because now I am living vicariously for all the Browns fans. Like being part of these memories through your eyes, it makes this whole show worth it, brother.
You come under my wing and I'll keep you warm. I'll feed you little niblets of food for you and keep you warm until we get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're going to go deep into the Browns, spoiler alert, on our FOMO report. But we are sitting here. I've got the heat on. My fiance's not home, so I got the windows open. I got it all mixed up. Who would be afraid of mixing it up after what we saw this last weekend? We're here because we love sports. The aspect of competition is its own form of theater, and it speaks so much in terms of like what a human being should do and how they should behave. And that was exemplified for me this weekend. It was my national championship game, Brian. I'm talking, of course, BYU Coastal Carolina Chanticleers.
Chanticleers. Joel, I watched that game. I told Nicole, I have to watch this game. This is Shakespeare right here, okay? This is Michael Bay coming out with Transformers 9, and we're going to have a good time. And it did not disappoint. It was amazing.
It did not disappoint. So to set the stage for those who aren't in the know, so right, college football, it's really hard to break into the national conversation if you're not one of the big five teams. And this year, there are three very good programs knocking on the door. Cincinnati, of course, they're incredible. BYU is traditionally a very good football school. They've got Steve Young, all the Detmer boys. There's a track record of athletic excellence. And that is not the case in Coastal Carolina, is it?
Their fans, the students, the fans, the whole town is amazing. And I want to go there and just party. It seems like a cool place to be.
Yeah, Coastal Carolina, they lost their opponent last week due to COVID-related concerns. And on 2 days' notice, BYU, they volunteer to fly across the country. They square off Friday night, and it's the game of the year. Both teams played incredible. It was an amazing atmosphere, and we talk about theater. It had the ending of the Titans-Rams Super Bowl baked right in it.
Oh, yeah. It was just so magical. And big ups to, what's his name, CJ Maribel? I think that's his name, Maribel. CJ, that running back. Amazing. Like, I want this guy at Christmas. Tell him to bring all the family over. We're going to cook a turkey. I don't know what they do for Christmas. I grew up with Jehovah's Witness, but it's going to be great.
Yeah, and because those Coastal Carolina folks have their own traditions. You go down there, they've got the, rooster logo who's uncomfortably buff. They've got the teal turf that's upsetting to the eyes, and it is just like the dugout, the infield at a NASCAR event. It's a lot of people, they're putting up the Kenny Powers memes, and they could not be more accurate.
Oh, Joel, did you see, what is it? I saw T-shirts that said Mormons versus mullets. Like you both, this is incredible. I'm sorry.
It was the Mormons versus mullets, and I think they should have it. They should keep an open date on the NCAA calendar. One team can just, like, it's the Sadie Hawkins weekend.
Yeah.
You pick who you want to dance with, and then it's just a crazy mix-up. Every school gets 3 days of practice. Like, it's rare to see the NCAA, the same institution that made James Wiseman sit out for no real reason. I'm not going to go into the Trevor Lawrence thing here because it's not accurate. Yeah. But for them to allow this to happen, it was just simply fun. And there was a lot of value in this because, like, if you've had any familiarity with Coastal Carolina this season, go Chanticleers, you knew that they were a pretty good football team. And for whatever reason, BYU traveling across the country with no real practice time, they were made 11-point favorites on the road with fans in attendance.
Well, I mean, for BYU to give this opportunity to them, to Coastal, it doesn't happen. Especially with BYU, they're thinking this is a tune-up game. This is nothing. But to finally, Coastal Carolina wanted to show the world pretty much that they could hang, and they did it.
They absolutely did, and all the money was on BYU here. So William Hill, they had BYU on 92% of the handles, and like 92% of the money was on BYU. 75% of the bets were on BYU. At PointsBet, 72% of the money was on BYU. So all of it was on BYU. Everyone in the sports gambling world thought that Coastal Carolina was going to be outclassed, except us. I backed them. I backed the money line, and it was a wonderful little win on Saturday night.
Oh yeah, good for you. I can't believe everyone William Hill. It's two. When you have two first names, I don't trust it. But to not even have Coastal Carolina in the thought is rude, and they need a rooster to like come in, a buff rooster to come over and hang out and be like, "You sup, bro? You want to You do you lift, bro?"
Yeah, and they do need a buff rooster to do that. I won't argue that buff rooster. He is the only Coastal elite I recognize. That's who. That's who everyone has been campaigning to every election season. So the chicken, the rooster, the Chanticleers, something we all aspire to. And I told myself that I would send the winner of this team my own trophy because this is the walk-on national championship game.
Oh yeah, I love it.
And I'm gonna do that. But what should the trophy be?
Oh man, well, can we give him a PS5? I mean, I know we need to
give him a PS5. Maybe if we tell him it's an air humidifier, that'll help us out. This will clear up the passages.
Yeah, give him some of that. Or I wish I had the money. I can give him all Bose headphones and stuff like that. That's a good holiday gift, and for to win the bowl.
Yeah, so maybe since the Coastal Carolina, they're the Chanticleers. I go down to Ridgewood. Yeah. I visit a poultry supply store, and I get a chicken. I send them the chicken. They would enjoy that.
Just one chicken?
Yeah, I'll be honest.
You got to get like 50 plus chickens.
Well, I'll be honest with you. A chicken per man?
Yes, chicken per player and coach.
Okay, so we're gonna get 120 chickens, and I'll tell you this. This isn't the first time I was given chickens to some college students as a bit. When I was at old USC, fight on, great win this weekend, I went down to Chinatown. I got a chicken on April Fool's Day, and I put it in my roommate's room, and he loved it. Like
he loved it.
He loved it. He built the chicken a coop, and the chicken really felt connected to us, and it started following us to class. It started laying eggs, and you heard about giving a teacher an apple. How about giving the professor a single egg?
Ooh, that's extra credit. That's right there.
Yeah, hey, I'm worried about your protein deficiencies. Take this. So 120 chickens. They're on their way to Coastal Carolina.
Love it.
Congratulations, boys. You earned it.
You earned it. Wow, what a win. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and it was just a good game for these outside college conferences because college football, it can be a little bit of the haves and the have-nots. You're a MAC boy. Nobody knows better than you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they don't care about it. It's the money. It's about the money, okay? And no one cares about Akron, and that's okay. I get it.
Yeah, no one cares about any of these programs, but Saturday night when Alabama is trouncing LSU, I think it says something that all eyes in the American sporting world were on Coastal BYU.
Oh, yeah. People were flipping. I want to see the ratings of that game.
Oh, yeah. I do want to look. Let's see if we can pull up those ratings for that game. You on it, or should I be on it?
We can try. I mean, Coastal.
I do think I think it was cool because of how good BYU looked in the process. Like Zach Wilson is someone who I've seen bandied about as a potential top 10 pick in this year's NFL draft. I wasn't sold, but that last drive, just getting down the field, he made a lot of tough throws under pressure, and those are NFL throws. That's everything you could possibly want to see out of Zach Wilson in that scenario. And if you look at his line, it wasn't a great line, but in that environment, on the road with the game on the line, what better test can a quarterback have?
And this is just good tape for Zach. This is what you want. Yeah, losing is not what you want, but to put good tape, you're like, I can go down, traveled, hopped on a jet real quick and threw a couple touchdowns. I think that's a very good look. But he didn't mess his draft prospect ranking.
I think he helped establish it. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, like, the throws he made in that situation with that much on the line, like,
yeah,
I don't know. I saw everything I need to see. He's maybe 2 inches shorter than I'd like him to be, but he's mobile, the arms there, and there was a great deal of leadership ability coming from him. So hats off to Zach Wilson. Hats off to BYU. What a game. I loved it.
Yep.
All right. There we go. No sign of the ratings on my end.
Yeah, I can't find it. They're hiding it because they know they were out of the charts and they would have beat Bama LSU ratings.
Yeah, they're worried about what that'll do to poor old Nick Saban. Hasn't he been through enough?
COVID too many times.
Yeah, well, Nick Saban, you might have all the national championships. You might have all the rings, but you will never be Coastal Carolina. They are the gem of the college football South, and you will not be able to convince me otherwise.
No.
Put me on those bleachers on a Saturday night in December. What a slice of heaven that was. Happy to witness it. Happy to be champion this program. Go Chanticleers.
Oh, yeah.
So the Props Network is a place where bets begin. No, the Props Network isn't a sports book. It's where smart bettors and new players go before the sports book. And why? Because the Props Network has a few things that all bettors need. Exclusive sign-up bonuses, reporting on weekly promos, free betting picks, and live odds comparison for every football game. A visit to thepropsnetwork.com before placing a bet guarantees that you'll be wagering with the best available bonus and getting the biggest possible payout when your bet hits. This week at the Props Network, you'll get $30. No deposit required from Unibet for risk-free bets up to $1,000 at PointsBet with code bonusprops. And up to $250 bonus credit when you make a new account at BetRivers. You can get all these deals and more at thepropsnetwork.com. Must be 21 or older to bet online. Do you or someone you know have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER today. And we are back. So we had a great football Sunday, Brian, and it was your Sunday. It was Brian Allen Mitchell Day all over the world.
Oh, but the refs of the Titans really wanted to give it to them. They really wanted to give the Titans a game, and it was rude. How dare you? Okay.
It was already over. It was already over.
I know.
You guys had won. They were out of it fairly obviously, I thought. So why not let the Titans put on a show for the hometown fans? Cleveland did everything they needed to do in that game.
Oh, Baker, my Baker. Oh my God, he's giving out Baker dozens of touchdowns this week, and it's going to keep on going. To finally get that guy some confidence that he can throw it against a really defensive-minded team.
Okay, so let's take back that last comment. Hey, I'm with you like all the way, but maybe those last 3 words, I'm going to be like, Brian, come on. The Titans are not a defensive-minded team. They're Seattle. They're country Seattle. But yeah, I'm with you, and we'll go right into the FOMO report, front office management operations. This is where we tell you who did a good job setting up their team, arranging their company, and what we saw on the field that told us that. And this week, my positive report has to be the Browns. We were all over the Browns here. And, I don't really like the Titans. They don't do much for me.
Right.
I'm starting to like them a little bit, and I don't like it.
It's okay, Joel. Get them in your life. They're good.
Yeah, but I mean, these are the two, like the AFC, this young, crop of also ran coaches. We've got Vrabel, we've got Stefanski, and then there's, Reich and McDermott are doing well too. But it's just these guys have built cultures in their programs. It doesn't matter who's active for either of them. Both these teams are pretty decimated by injuries or have been at certain points in the season. They kept on trucking. They were committed to their identities, in which case, run heavy offenses and a level of physicality throughout the roster. And the Browns, Baker looked amazing.
AJ Brown he rolled his ankle early in the first half, so that probably really put a damper on his game. But I mean, hats off for Kevin Stefanski to understand that people are like, oh, okay, you're gonna run the ball. We know that, and he made these formations where it looked like it was going to be a run. Like that one, the one touchdown for Peoples-Jones, it was shaped like a run, and it worked to perfection. To finally see that, to see the connection, it's just like, okay, the Cleveland Browns only had 3 receivers on the active roster that day.
Wow.
And they showed up. Yeah.
They only had 3 receivers yesterday?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Incredible. And this just goes to show. So there were a lot of times earlier in the season when Baker struggled.
Yeah.
And they never really changed anything. They just kept affirming their offense. They got it to a position where, like, this is what our scheme allows us to do well. And they started building in more and more throws for Baker. And this week, at the right opportunity, they just went for it. Baker was awesome. And I think every decision they've gone this year has gone to kind of like take the pressure off him.
Mm-hmm.
And him as like a gunslinger who's trying to lift his offense. Like, I don't know if I love that. But Baker as like this dimension that a well-run, serious team adds, I really like that ceiling.
Yeah. And what I really liked out of Baker was he was able to manipulate the defense with his eyes and his feet. We've never seen that before. It's always been, Baker just stares down the receiver. But if he's moving DBs around, that confidence. I'm now just hoping that confidence keeps going and that he just keeps building on this and hopefully no setback, and we just keep on trucking. That's what I want.
Yeah. So hats off to them. We'll be talking a little bit more about the Browns. So how about you? Who did a good job this week, Brian?
The New York Football Giants really, really showed that. Yeah, because everyone had Seattle to win this thing.
Everyone in the world. Colt McCoy on the road. I thought about putting everything I owned on that Seattle money line.
Oh, I mean, I would put everything. If you say you got Colt McCoy back there, like, oh yeah, I'm with you. Let's go.
Yeah, I could be hosting this show from Cuba right now. Welcome to TPN, the walk away from family, my friends. Don't tell anyone you're listening, but listen anyway.
McCoy looked great. The defense is really showing up. Jabal Sheard comes out of nowhere. I love this guy. But everyone's they're playing like they know they can win, and that their defense. Joe Judge is putting these guys in the right positions to be opportunistic on the defensive end, and that's just a sight to see after a couple years of a defense that just really wasn't showing up or just wasn't there. But yeah, they're doing great,
and they were very shrewd in getting these, like the Leonard Williams acquisition. Like, why'd the Jets give him up? Like, he's reaching his potential. He's becoming that game-changing defensive force. And I know I've gotten a lot of hate from our viewers. We're like, oh, he doesn't think the Giants are a top 5 defense. Well, on this Sunday against Seattle, they were.
Yeah.
Are you guys?
I remember when you first were getting flack for that Giants say. I was telling you that their defense was finally getting healthy, and this is just showing what Joe can do. At first, as like a special teams coach, like, okay, that happens every once in a while, can really pull the team together, but everyone's buying in. Everyone's buying into Joe.
And I'm so stoked for this run because now that this roster has come together and really just gelled in certain ways, we will be able to put the house on them in a round 1 playoff game, which is an amazing opportunity. Tom Brady and the Bucs, they're going to come to town, and Giants fans, they're going to be looking at Tom Brady, thinking of games past, and then they're going to lose by 24 points, and we're going to be rich men, Brian. That's how I see it breaking down.
Yeah, we're going to be like in what is it? Trading places. I'll be Dan Aykroyd, you can be Eddie Murphy. Just have a good time.
All right. So Here we go. Oh, Eric Ebron just dropped a big pass. What up, Eric?
Wow. Eric does that, what he loves to do.
And it's always fun, dropping that pass. And maybe I made this point on here before, but my bad FOMO. The team I didn't like this weekend were probably kickers as a whole. I have not seen this many missed extra points in my entire life. I didn't even look up a stat, Brian, just from watching, looking at one game and bouncing across red zone.
Yeah.
I saw 10 missed extra points on Sunday.
Well, I feel like every Sunday there's a theme to the NFL. Fumbles, interceptions, but kicking was less. Was what was going on for Week 14.
Yeah, the kicking game across, and even it didn't matter the conditions. Dan Bailey was missing them indoors. We had the Jaguars attempting a 62-yard field goal at the end of the game. So I was watching a little bit of Vikings and Jaguars because I had a big money on the Minnesota Vikings money line.
Yeah.
So
Jags, oh my goodness, so scrappy. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, but my bad one is the kickers. And as a gambler, nothing's worse than a missed extra point. I feel like it tells you exactly how the bet's gonna go. If you're missing an extra point early, It is not your day, my friend. Move forward, turn the game off. It's just gonna be that creepy feeling settling into your stomach.
Ooh.
Maybe you ate some jalapeños. No, it was a missed extra point.
I like that's how you operate on Sunday. Like, how many jalapenos have I had?
But not enough, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I lost the sauna. I got to replace it with an exclusive jalapeno diet.
Well, that's probably not safe and healthy. So just watch out. Drink some water.
Eating vegetables, that's all you need to do, Brian.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so who is your bad FOMO this week?
What we always talk about, the Chargers.
All right, the Chargers. Anthony Lynn still has his job.
Did you see what Anthony Lynn said today? I guess the reporters asked, "Are you how do you feel about your job?" He's like, "Well, I know I'll still be here tomorrow." So that's great.
Yeah, Anthony Lynn, he's got the same career strategy as a fly approaching a light. As long I just need one more day, that's all I've got, 24 hours. And, another game, at least they didn't blow a lead this time.
Yeah.
And I was on the Patriots here. It was Belichick versus Anthony Lynn. You knew Belichick was coming out on top of this one.
Oh, Anthony Lynn is playing checkers and Bill is just Queen's Gambit all day.
Yeah, other teams are playing chess. Anthony Lynn has a chess piece in his mouth. If he's on those small pieces, it's technically a choking hazard. Get him away from this board, please.
Yeah. Oh, man. It was just so... To get beat on every phase of a football game is... I don't know. I would puke. I would have to need a lot of jalapenos to feel better about myself.
Yeah, you'd need a lot of jalapenos. Anthony, it's not your fault. You're an inspirational guy. I'm sure in the interview and explaining what happened wrong, he's incredible. Oh, you just hear from him. That's the man right there.
Yeah. But Cam Newton had 70 yards.
I mean, it just goes to show, it's a good day for the Patriots. If Cam Newton's throwing a touchdown to N'Keal Harry, things are really working out for the Pats. And now we got to learn how to spell Gunnar Olszewski. I mean, a lot of work from that blowout. They're going to creep their way back into this postseason contention because the Browns, I think they got it sewn up.
We'll see. Ooh. We'll see. Now I'm never being 9-3. Now this is just weird territory I haven't been into. So it's going to take me a little bit to understand where we are.
Was yesterday maybe the best? Where does it rank on your Browns wins of your lifetime?
Man, when we beat San Diego to not go 0-16, that's probably up there. But that Ravens game in 2007 was pretty good. But this is probably number one for sure. Just
number one
from a quarterback standpoint. It just haven't really seen that, out of the years. I can know a couple Brian Hoare games,
Brian Hoare stories.
Yeah, but nothing really matches to a complete Well, I mean, the first half was just amazing. Like a game like that, just no way. I'm sorry, just like a complete football team that wants to win. That's too good.
Yeah, so I'm glad you had your best Sunday ever. It sounds like someone else had their best Sunday of all time. And I put out the professional gambler videos every weekend. A few weeks ago, we talked about how a man put all my picks in a money line parlay.
Yeah,
and they won. He only did that week, but this week he did it again, and it won again. I was on Lions. I was on the Vikings, and the money line bailed it out there. I was on the Colts, and who was the last one here? Brian. We don't know. No, there's no way of knowing. It's physically impossible but we know it turned out pretty great. And this is $4,000 on the year from watching the show, and it made my day. I was so happy.
Bravo, Joel.
Good for them. It's been a phenomenal run, and shout out to my boy KP. I hope you're buying me a steak dinner because, to be honest, I think you owe it to me.
You owe him a couple.
Oh,
maybe a fresh chicken too, like a live chicken. That'd be good.
Ooh, yeah, I only have to send 119 chickens to Coastal because of you, because I was so helpful. And the last pick was the Browns, obviously. I was all over the Browns all over last week. Every podcast we did, every piece of Props Network content, it was Browns. So he parlayed them all. He had a nice win, and it is a good feeling.
Yeah, that's so good. Congrats, Joel. That's great.
Yeah, I got that steak dinner. So let's go around. Let's go through the matchups for week 14 in the prism of what we learned this past weekend. So first off, we have the Thursday game, Brian. Patriots at Rams. Two teams coming off huge victories. Patriots are 6-point underdogs against the Rams. What do we know about these teams that we didn't know before?
Well, I would say the Rams are a little banged up on the running back side now. They showed up on the injury report today. So they know that they can run the ball, and they're doing it successfully. Finally, under the Todd Gurley system of, we just need Todd Gurley. Now they're learning they can do a running back committee type of deal, and hopefully Cooper needs to get better a little bit. So they're good offense. The Rams are a very good offensive team, and that's not going to stop. The Pates just need to maybe throw the ball more than 150 yards. But I'm not sure about Cam, because I think he was talking earlier that he was changing his mechanics mid season, so that's not good.
Well, I mean, if you've seen Cam's mechanics, it might not be the worst idea in the world.
But it looks bad right now. So hopefully he can figure it out before this game, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, who do you go for in this matchup? You have Bill Belichick on a short week. You have the Rams, who that offense, that system, you can't tell what any play is going to be. That's the beauty of it. And whatever running backs they plug in, they were great yesterday. Henderson broke one, and throughout the game, Cam Akers, I mean, I watched him a little bit at Florida State last year. I thought he was a good long shot pick for Rookie of the Year. It looked like Todd Gurley had not left the building.
I know, and I think I think we were talking about just running rookie running backs. You have the first 4 games of this regular season is your preseason. So now they got their sea legs together, and they're just going to charge it up. I think it's going to be a pretty easy game for the Rams. I know defensive wise, Belichick is good at scheming, but I think from just like a high octane offense, I don't think you can stop the Rams here.
Yeah, and it's up to the Rams to keep it going. Their receivers really balled out yesterday. They were just crisp. They were catching balls they didn't need to catch. And in all phases of the game, they looked like they had their S together. I got told not to swear a little bit less, so I didn't say the S word. Oh. I feel like I'm 13 years old again, Brian.
And gee golly, you're doing great.
Yeah, I think the Patriots, I buy the logic, but it's going to be very hard for me not to back the Patriots given that big fat spread on a short week.
Yeah, +6 is a lot. And, do you think it'll move at all?
If it moves, I'll go in that way. I mean, I think it's pretty high. I think it's a 4.5 point game, especially given how good they both look this weekend, especially given that the stakes are like suddenly, by virtue of other losses in their conferences, a little bit higher than they would have been otherwise.
Yeah. I guess you go, but 6 points is a lot. Because I can see them winning by a touchdown. That's my thing.
Yeah, it feels like a 27-20 game. We have, a banged up Cam Newton being chased around by Aaron Donald. I mean, who's to say? The Rams have a lot of really great players in their defense. Maybe the Patriots, they split it up their looks, so they target so many different receivers. Maybe that can work, but yeah, too close to call for me. I'm going to back the Pats. Sorry, Brian. Okay, this one. We have the Packers. They looked very crisp on offense. Devontae Adams had himself a day, dominant in route running, in hands, in yak, and he was really the Packers' bell cow yesterday against Philadelphia Eagles, and it sucked because I hate Devontae Adams. I was trying to argue that he was the 5th best receiver in the NFC North all last week, and that argument doesn't feel so good now, but they're at the Lions, and they're 7.5 point favorites.
7.5. Ooh, man, that's a winner. I love that Matthew Stafford is just. This dude just throws the ball all the time, and I love it. He could be. They could be only one game, and he's still like, well, we can get to the championship. You gotta love that out of your Lions, Joel.
Yeah, and it's the Matthew Stafford corollary. He's a likable Jay Cutler. For every beautiful game-ending drive, there's been a lot of weird interceptions this year.
Yeah,
Bears fans were getting in my ear. They're like, Matt always gives us one, and then Matt gives one to a defensive tackle.
Oh my God!
You sidearm it so hard into a fat dude, it sticks in his belly. Fat Matthew, what are you doing?
What was that throw? I was trying to. I kind of went back. I'm like, how did you do that? Because he caught a fastball.
He caught it. Props off to him for catching it. And Stafford, he definitely did a great job slinging it, but he's just so Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. And I don't think he's ever going to get out of it. But yeah,
never out of it. When he's retired, he's just going to open up Madden and throw picks in the third quarter.
It's like he was open. It was fine.
Fuck it. I just want to throw like this.
Yeah.
I bet Matthew Stafford is the best stone skipper in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. He can. I think it's on the ESPN Ocho. So when he's retired, let him go over there. He might actually win a championship there.
Yeah. That fella's going to kill himself a mess of frogs.
And Packers here?
No, I think this is the template, kind of like KC Denver last week. Mm-hmm. Green Bay, I think they're great. I think they're the NFC champion. I think this is a game where they don't have to really do any exotic looks or give away much of their play calling. Yeah. They can just pull out enough to win. This is a 24-20 game. Packers come out on top. Hawkinson makes a few plays. Maybe the Lions, we just want to show off our young pieces. Yeah. Hawk and Aquara are just kind of making themselves meaningful parts of this football team, and it's been good to see. I didn't like Hawk at the beginning of the season, and now he's one of the better tight ends in the league. Props to him.
Yeah, he's really turned around. He's catching. So yeah, I go Packers for sure.
Yeah, Packers for sure here. Next one, we have Titans off the loss. 7-point favorites at Jaguars. What did we learn about the Titans? We learned that their secondary was really bad.
Very, very not bad. Very young, but bad.
Very bad.
And I mean, if Mike Glennon is chucking the ball, I'm down for this. I'm down for this for them.
Don't fall for it. Historically speaking, the Tennessee Titans own the Jacksonville Jaguars. This will be no exception. This is going to be a 42-14 ball game. Titans romp. I feel it in my bones. They are getting it right. There can be no doubt in this game. That loss was big for that franchise. The Titans were also fired up, and they need this win to stay in the playoff picture. So I'm going to be putting a whole lot of shekels on the Titans money line here.
Okay. All right. But I've had this thing that the Jags have been so close the past couple. Because, I mean, what? The Jags played Browns, and then so they know how to, like, that same type of team to play with. So if Glennon can just not throw an interception, I say Jags roll. But smart thing is go Titans.
Titans. We have another Eric Ebron drop, folks. We are happy to be alive. I don't care that I'm going to lose my Steelers, but as long as Eric Ebron does Eric Ebron things, I should go to therapy for this relationship. Yeah, imagine getting a therapist just to talk about Eric Ebron.
And it's like, Joel, is there anything else about your family, anything like that? No? Okay.
If I were in like a sci-fi movie, maybe an episode of Star Trek, and there was an evil clone situation, you'd be able to tell it was an evil clone if you mentioned Eric Ebron and they didn't reflexively go, Eric Ebron sucks. That's how you know it's the real me. Kill the other one.
He's like, no, I know Eric. He catches everything I throw at him. So yeah.
No. Okay, we're having fun here. Next game, Cardinals at Giants. Ooh, this one's juicy. Cards are 2.5-point favorites. Giants are the most beloved team in football at the moment.
Yes.
And too close to call. I think Kyler's hurt, so I'm leaning Giants here.
Yes, Kyler hurts. He's got shoulder problems in his throwing. Shoulder not good. Not good. And I think
he couldn't throw his full, like, he couldn't go through a lot of his reads yesterday. He had trouble moving the ball down the field. I mean,
I know, and I hate this so much that he's playing through this injury because he, as a franchise QB, you want to play through this because you know at the end of the season you're going to have this, a news article is going to come out and be like, well, Kyler Murray was playing on a broken shoulder for the past 7 weeks.
Yeah, but that's the job. I know you want to root for Kyler. It's this, he's almost like an underdog story because it's sort of like Allen Iverson playing basketball. He's so small that you kind of can't help but cheer for him. But this is the job. He's got to be a warrior. And I think it's more of a Cliff Kingsbury thing. They've got a pretty good running attack.
Yeah.
And they're not leaning on that. They could be doing things to make this game a little easier for Kyler to manage. I don't think they're doing it. So
yeah, you got to go Giants too, because that's a smart move too. If Cliff is going to, let's say this game, he kind of tailors more running back situations, that plays in the hand of the Giants.
Yeah, but you do kind of want to consider like maybe Colts out. He did good 1 week, but now there's a little bit more tape on him. They know which kind of routes he's going to be running because there's a good probability like a backup quarterback isn't going to throw the same diversity of routes. They're just going to throw what they've been running in practice all season. Yeah. So maybe the Cardinals can get their defensive act together. I know there's talent, but the scheme, they haven't quite gotten it there with Chandler Jones out.
Right. And they're trying to hope that Isaiah will show up. And it's like, you're a rookie with not much time on the field. So let's not get crazy. Giants all the way.
Oh, wow. Bry Guy likes the Giants. Oh, all right. Okay, next up, we've got the Vikings at Buccaneers. Oh, you got to like the Vikings. Same reason that we like the Titans this week. It's 2 running games. The clock's going to be going. There's going to be a lot of tight ends feature. There's going to be vertical routes. Same identities. Like, that suggests a close game to me. I think this one's pretty easy to call. I feel great about it.
Yeah, it's great. Bye, Tom Brady.
Yeah, and I really like if a team has a big spread after they win a game in which they didn't play particularly well, that's a situation where I like to back them. The Vikings, they totally line up with it. I've had a blast in supporting this team, watching Justin Jefferson, and it's not that fun to bet on the Bucs in this one, huh?
Yeah, you're totally right. And the Vikings are just showing that they'll find a way to win. And Kirk is playing like, Kirk of old at the end of the season. So that's kind of good for where they at. So if they can just keep the Bucs off the field, I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, if a team's playing their reflection, it's reasonable to think it'll be a close team.
Yeah.
And I'm really talking about reflections and evil twins a lot this week. Okay, so next one, we have Bears hosting the Texans. Texans 1.5 point favorites. Texans. You gotta like the Deshaun Watson revenge factor. That's the reason to back them. If that's not the reason you're betting on this game, I don't know what is.
Kiki Kuti that's why you're betting on this game.
You're betting on this game to get Kiki Kuti?
Yeah. I think the biggest question was, with Will Fuller out, are they going to pack their bags and go on vacation? And I don't think so. I think they figured out, and Deshaun knows he's a smart player. He can still figure out, I can get some guys to, actually show up for me. So if this can be consistent, I'm totally down with that.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see any argument to back the Bears here. The Trubisky situation is laughably bad. He gave us one beautiful last Mitch turnover to give away a game yesterday.
He loves that. He loves it so much.
Yeah, he needed to do it. That's what he was focusing on the entire time. He was out with injuries.
Screw this up.
Yeah, we like that joke so much. I do it every week. So yeah, take the Texans here. If you take the Bears, call 1-800-GAMBLER, and you might want to talk to some people. Okay, so my Indianapolis Colts are visiting your Las Vegas Raiders. The Colts are 3-point favorites. The Raiders, the Jets intentionally lost that football game yesterday.
Yes.
Greg, you could tell by how quickly Greg Williams got fired. You could tell by looking at that offensive formation.
Oh my goodness. Why did you? Oh. No one calls that. Most time, if this was Madden, I'm just going to press the select button to call timeout because I pressed the wrong button. Okay.
Yeah, hit that select. It really seemed rigged. It really seemed like
you go cover 4 and you push them all the way to the end zone. But no.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, why are you calling this play? Well, we just like Trevor Lawrence a lot more than Justin Fields. I mean, we need to get the quarterback, make a statement to our fans. The New York Stock Exchange is back. Oh, what a train wreck,
Trevor.
And it's the Raiders. I mean, what can you really analyze? Darren Waller did great. Carr hit a throw in which was essentially like a QB challenge drill at the end of the game. I don't know anything about that. The same is true with the Colts, though. Like the Colts, all their weapons were integrated. They were firing on all cylinders, and they won that game because of a bad snap near the goal line for Houston going in for the lead.
Yeah. And I think Ty is finally feeling good. So this might be a light up game for the Colts.
It might, yeah. And this is for a wild card spot. The Raiders, they don't have all the talent in the world, but they love to play for John Gruden. Mm-hmm. I think 3 is a good line here. Yeah. I will maybe take the Colts money line, tie it to something, get it to 100.
Yeah, tie that together.
Tie it off. Falcons at Chargers. Who knows?
Oh man, they really the Falcons. They're like a pot of water. Like you don't know if it's going to be warm or cold. They really don't know what to do. But this is actually like a great game for them against the Chargers.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 teams, what could have been. If Bill Belichick was coaching either of these teams, they would have 12 wins. I like seeing that game. I don't think we need to, back the Falcons here.
Yeah.
Raheem Moore wants the job. That's why you back him here.
Yeah.
Last 2, we're going to skip over a couple because, I don't know, Broncos and Panthers, Cowboys at Bengals, they don't really move the needle for me, my friend.
Hey, I know. It's all good.
So Chiefs at Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are 7-point underdogs. Dang, the Chiefs are awesome.
It's not even fair, man.
They have Sammy Watkins as their 5th receiver. He was traded for 2 first-round picks in his career. He's a link in the lineage of wonderful Clemson receivers. It's so wild to see the talent they have.
Did you see the catch that that Tyreek caught with his helmet, and they just called it? He didn't think he caught it. It's just outrageous when you have a team that's so talented that the stars are aligning for dumb things like that to happen to you.
Yeah, they're disallowing a Tyreek Hill touchdown every other play. Drew Lock is playing lights out because his mama's in the house. I think the Chiefs honestly just wanted Drew Lock to impress his mom. So they just let him get a couple early touchdowns in there.
So that's my baby. Look at him. That's my Drew. Go ahead, Drew. Oh, no. Okay. No.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, you got to like the Dolphins here. What do the Chiefs really want to show? It's unreasonable that they'll be able to catch Pittsburgh if the current result in the Monday night game stands.
Mm-hmm.
And, you just want to, it's like the same as Packers Lions. Like if this is a kitchen sink game for the Dolphins where they can cement themselves in the position, maybe you just want to take their shots, see if you can steal it at the end. Like the Chiefs they're so good at doing that.
Yeah.
They let you have your identity, push your strategy the whole game, and then 2 minutes left, they're like, hey, what's up, boy? Patty's here.
Patty's here, ready to wreck your world. That's the best.
Yeah, that's how my prom date introduced herself. Okay, this one, we have no line on it. Washington at 49ers. This Arizona 49ers. Happy to see it. It's true. There is a Hungry Howie's pizza. If you guys want some regional Detroit pizza, that would be a really good thing for you guys.
Love me some Hungry Howie's.
Oh, Hungry Howie's is great. Buttered cheese crust. And you know what? This is going to be a fun matchup. Two surprisingly competent teams.
Alex Smith is bleeding from his leg, so
that might just be his brace. They fill it with figgy pudding because of the holidays.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, he's got his holiday ankle stash.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what everyone loves the Niners like that. Everyone loves the Niners for some reason. They're crafty. They're a crafty team. I get it.
If one team wins tonight and one team loses, you bet on the team that loses. That's how to handle this matchup. It seems pretty simple to me how it goes. And then Sunday Night Football, we've got Steelers at Bills.
Ooh. That's another one. If the Bills lose, I'm going with the Bills for Sunday Night Football.
Yeah. And either way, Bills money line will be the play here. It seems like the only time that Pittsburgh is really going to be tested before the end of the regular season. Mm-hmm. So this is it, folks. Back the money line, get your popcorn ready, and hopefully watch a piece of history.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's unreasonable at all. Josh Allen versus Ben Roethlisberger. It's like the movie Looper, but with more action. And
I love Looper. That's such a good idea. Yes.
Yeah. We recast it. We put Ben and Josh in there. And, both of them, they have mistakes in their past. So it's good character development written back in there.
I dig it. Let's write this puppy.
Yeah, we'll stay on our Zoom. If you want to just stick around for the screenwriting tutorial with Brian and Joel, that'll be $300 to Venmo to each of us. Sorry. And then a great slate, Ravens at Browns. Ravens are slight favorites, I believe.
Right.
What do you think, Brian? Are the Browns going to make a statement, or are they chilling?
Well, after Lamar just got off the COVID list today. And I saw a lot from Myles Garrett coming off the COVID list. He was gassed in that first quarter. All right. So if that's the same case for Myles Garrett, Lamar Jackson is going to be a step behind. And if he makes an errant throw or one or two, mistakes here, I think that opens up the Browns to just control the ball and win this game. Like, we beat the Ravens before, so we know it's possible. So if a lot of people are just kind of in that COVID rut, I mean, sorry, Monday Night Football's to the Browns.
I don't know. I'm going to be on the Ravens money line here. It seems like they'll need the game more. Because one of the Raiders or Colts will lose that matchup. Mm-hmm. I think the Browns are basically in the playoffs right now. You might see them going for the win, but it's going to be a desperate Baltimore team, and we'll see their best, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so that's what we learned this week. There's a lot of lines in the water. I think we like them, but right off the gate, everyone should have a decent amount invested in the Titans money line. Titans and Packers tease seems like a great way to go. And outside of that, maybe Jets at Seahawks. You take the Seahawks. Maybe you take the Dolphins getting a touchdown at home, but it is important of all things that you place these bets at BetMGM, the sponsor of the walk-on. BetMGM, it's live for legal betting in Colorado, Indiana, Nevada, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and West Virginia. Are you betting on them? Are you betting the NFL this season? What about college football? They take some of that action to BetMGM. Why? Because for a limited time, BetMGM has a special signing bonus for the Props Network listeners. All you have to do is create a new account at BetMGM, use code WALKON20, and get a 100% match on your first deposit up to $500. That's right. Just enter code WALKON20 and up to a $500 bonus bankroll is yours. Then you will enjoy all that BetMGM has to offer, like earning free bets every week in the Money Monday Club, multi-sport parlay boosters, and this week you can get $20 free live bet when you bet $50 or more on any in-play NFL line. And they've got a lot of great stuff here. Like I was looking around on this Monday night, they had a Stephon Diggs bet booster, 80 yards, plus 150. So there's little fun wrinkles to make it a more enjoyable experience. So I recommend giving BetMGM Sportsbook a chance. You can use code WALKON20 now while offers last. Must be 21 or older to bet online. Do you or someone you know have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER today. Boom. Didn't do so great at the ending. Brian.
You did great. So don't say that.
Can I pause for 30 seconds before we bring on our guests?
Sure.
You don't mind?
No.
Okay, as long as you're not going to get mad at me, be right back. All right, I'm back. Brian?
Hello.
They ready? They good to go?
They are ready.
All right.
To check the audio real quick, but we should be okay.
So you might not have noticed there's been a lot of sports stuff going on in the world, but college basketball, the thing that brought me to the Props Network, the thing I was going to change the game, the way it was covered, it was stopped suddenly, but now very quietly it has returned. And we're going to have a great college basketball season, huh, Brian?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's going to be glorious.
And we've had so much fun diving deep into college football as guided by Eli Sayers. We want to do a similar thing, but give it a little twist to make it interesting. So what I decided, there's a great couple I know, Nate Fridson, Alison Klemp. Nate loves college basketball. Alison loves gambling. So we're going to have them cover college basketball, though Alison is a diehard Arizona Wildcat fan. So they're going to come on, they're going to talk a little trash about the game, give us the overview on how to follow this sport, how to bet on it in the season, and then further down the line, we're going to add a little competitive wrinkle to it, add a little fun. So let's welcome Nate Fridson and Alison Klemp.
Hello.
What's up? You guys look like a modern day American Gothic.
Hey, Nate, can you turn up the mic there? Can you see that?
Is it working? There we go.
Yeah.
Is it on?
Yep, it's on.
Boom. There we go.
Oh,
Look at
yeah.
that.
We are good to
State school. What's up?
Yeah.
Free education. No student
State
loans.
school, Arizona.
Sorry.
No student loans. It's like we're living under a Biden presidency already. How about that? So, before we started, I would just want to give you guys the floor. If you could each state why you'll be good at covering college basketball for our Props Network listeners, I think that would mean a lot.
Well, thank you. Hi, I'm Nate. Nice to see everybody again. The reason that I will be a good good for covering college basketball is that I was fortunate enough to attend one of the premier basketball program universities in all of the country and history, the great Michigan State University, as many know.
Yeah.
All the Fridiots know, all my fans know. At Michigan State University, I was a bad enough student to have classes with multiple people on the basketball team. I sat in front of a sleeping Tim Bagrakis every Tuesday and Thursday. Tim was nobody knows who that is. Exactly. That's how tuned in I am. He was a scrappy white guy coming off the bench on Michigan State. So I have spent a lifetime in the
not so scrappy in the class.
Exactly. In that class. I'm still in that class. I'm still taking that class, freshman geo. But I have spent a lifetime studying, immersed in college basketball. I love college basketball, but most importantly, I have nothing else going on.
Very good.
And how about you, Allison?
Hi. I would say also, alumni of a very elite basketball program. And not only that, I have elite college basketball in my blood. My dad went to UCLA. My brother went to Virginia. So they're very skilled in the shit talking, have been definitely honing those skills for years. Also, as I mentioned, no student loans. I got an academic scholarship to a party school, which is, as it turns out, not that hard to do. But what that means is that I had enough pizzazz to briefly date a low-key member of the basketball team while I was at school, very briefly. But it also means I had enough wisdom not to have sex with him because he had already given syphilis to a bunch of people I knew. So that is just the kind of savvy thinking you'll be able to expect from me.
That's great. Not dishing those assists. That's good. That's great.
Yeah, and you got to here.
Also,
Allison, I mean, not only did she go to get a scholarship that gave her more money to gamble with, her brother is maybe connected in Vegas. Like, we don't really understand. But like, I'm new to college basketball. I love basketball as a whole, but I've never really followed college basketball before the tournament. What do I look for when following this sport in the regular season?
Well, there's a lot to follow this year. You, as I know from being friends with you, you and Brian as well. You're both huge fans of the NBA, and this year in college basketball, we have a ton of young talent, a ton of freshmen, maybe the most freshmen possibly drafted in the first round that we've ever seen in the history of the NBA draft. So there's a lot of young, exciting talent coming up through the ranks that will be here and just like in a flash of light gone, and then off to the pros. So there's a lot to do, and also we get to see college basketball in a completely different way this year. With COVID, like, it changes everything about what we know about college basketball, how we take it in, what the crowds are like. It's there's a fascinating, just looking for that, I think, is fascinating.
I'll tell you what the crowds are like. They are not there. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch Duke kind of flail around and not be able to capitalize on, the main thing they have going for them, which is people being super insane over that stupid school. Very overrated school. I have strong feelings about them. Yeah, I think you pretty much nailed it. Mm-hmm. It's good fun.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like college football this year, actually, just because it's going to be the easiest game to cancel or delay because of COVID concerns. And that kind of puts a level of importance on each matchup and makes it a little bit college football-y. And to your point, Allison, now we're going to see like Cameron Indoor without any Cameron crazies. It's like a world where every member of the Young Republican Society vanished leftover style.
Yeah. Also, it's already happening where it's becoming like this schedule is just like a game of musical chairs, and it's like, we don't know who we're playing on Friday. Maybe Colorado, maybe UTEP. Who the fuck knows? Whoever's healthy.
And that's what my little problem is with college basketball. I feel like there's going to be more games canceled because you can't do a bubble at all.
You can't do a bubble, and it's also hard when you're working with slave labor. So So I really, this is like my huge dream for NCAA is that I really hope that COVID gets rid of that rule and that makes it possible for us to pay the players because, we fucking should.
Yeah. Especially with, they are risking their lives, for a scholarship? Like, let's be smart about it, and let's make sure we're dealing with taking care of these people financially, especially if they get COVID, and we're not even expecting to go to the league.
Right.
They just wanted to play,
Yeah, and for the longest time, college basketball was the only game in town. Now these kids, if they really want to, they can go play overseas. They can go play in the G League. And now, why would you go to Duke unless the NCAA is going to really put something in it for you?
Put something in a bag and hand it to you. They're going to really do that.
Pay the players, reinstate all Chris Webber's wins at Michigan.
Okay, let's not be crazy. Let's not go nuts here.
Yeah, who doesn't remember the Fab Four and an asterisk? And all these games, it's going to make it crazy because a program like Virginia, they can't even get a 1 seed in the tournament right now.
Right. It does. It's such, everything is so up in the air. I think Virginia will be a fun team to watch this year though. But it's bizarre. It's a bizarre year.
They're already coasting off of their 2-year championship. So,
Hey, you got to keep it. I mean, hey.
Yeah, 2 years in a row. Didn't even have to work for
it.
Yeah, so let's walk through all the conferences. Maybe you guys give me some advice on where to put some money. So it being college basketball, let's start with the ACC. Duke and North Carolina, they've thrived due in part to an unmatched home court advantage. Is 2020 the year they're exposed as frauds?
Absolutely. Thank 100%. You for asking. Thank you for asking this question that I wrote. This is absolutely the year. We've already seen that Duke couldn't even pull off their normal shellacking of Michigan State in the first week of the season. This is something that Tom Izzo has scheduled for almost every year he's coached. He wants to get his kids embarrassed by Duke in the first 2 weeks of the season. This is something that he feels builds character, and it's been consistent. He can always set them up for a snuff film on a Tuesday on ESPN. But what happened this year that the Cameron Crazies weren't there is State won, which is, I believe, as a proud Spartan, the only reason that State won. We have a great team, but we are cursed there. So I think there's going to be other teams in the ACC that will succeed on those home courts in ways that they haven't yet. In particular, one team I like that I'm kind of confused as to what they're doing, and I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. Notre Dame. I actually like what Notre Dame is doing. They are taking the Tom Izzo approach, and Mike Bray has scheduled an absurd schedule this year for his team. They are playing more ranked opponents than they have in the 20 years that Mike Bray has been at Notre Dame. It is, I don't know what he gets out of it, but I think in late February, March, if we're still having games, Notre Dame will be battle tested and ready to go.
Oh. And to your point, Notre Dame, if you're going to look at who to bet on in this conference, Notre Dame is 50-1. That seems like a pretty crazy long shot to me. I mean, I know it is. Is that worth me throwing $5, $10 on, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
You're a professional gambler.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to back Notre Dame 50-1 plus 5,000. That's our pick in the ACC. We're getting wild right out of the gate. And I mean, why back Duke 2-1? Why back UNC 3-1? Those are hack. And if you like Florida State plus 300, keep in mind it's always a bad sign when you have multiple lottery picks. There's a lot missing from that school.
They lost bench depth. They lost so many players.
Yeah, so it's not going to be Florida State's year. I mean, and we don't like Florida State. They didn't let Rufat, friend of the show, rap before one of their big games, and we hold that grudge with them. So ACC, not Duke or UNC. Let's move on to what I think is the best conference in college basketball, the Big Ten.
Let's go. Let us go.
Let it go.
I'm a big fan. I think Luka is going to go crazy this year.
I mean, first of all, when we talk about Luka, can we talk about the jaw for a second? What a jaw on this young man. This
Neanderthal.
this guy has a head like a block. It looks like you could build a house with this head. It is, and I mean this in the best possible way. But the guy is, he can score. He can. He's experienced as a senior, the rare senior who's the focal point of a team. He looks good. He's a good looking player.
Yeah, he went to Iowa. He was included with a Lego basketball set, and he's had a great 4 years there. And I kind of think the Big Ten's the best conference just because they don't have a lot of powerhouses. There are a lot of upperclassmen in the Big Ten. And to that point, we got Rick Pitino in the Big Ten. Is he up to anything crazy?
I am always keeping an eye on Rick Pitino, on young Richard Pitino. He needs to have a different version of Richard, I think. Is what we need for
Dick?
He's earned the dick. Rick Pitino's earned the dick. Give him the dick.
Yeah.
Dick Pitino, that sounds great.
Dickatino.
Dick Pitino.
I'll have a venti Dickatino, please.
That's what I order when I get coffee in Miami. And then, Dick, that name goes with college basketball. Replace Dickie V, Dick Pitino. And Big Ten, we've got all these colorful coaches. How will COVID prevent Tom Izzo with his players? Will he be able to scream in their mouths?
I think that's going to be a tough one for Tom this year. I think we might see a reserved Tom Izzo. We might see an emotionally abused child of Tom Izzo's. His son is on the team, Steven Izzo. And I would imagine that Steven Izzo becomes the scapegoat, as it were, for the team, because it's okay if he spits and screams at his son. Who could be mad at that? Who could be upset with that?
Yeah, and they're sharing Thanksgiving already. You have them on the team just to have a scapegoat to scream at in front of everyone. That's good team building. That's why MSU is such a good program. And is it good for you guys to scream at each other? Has that been a helpful thing in your household, or?
Yeah, we did some just before this episode. Actually, we did a little bit. We both took a walk afterwards.
Yeah, he was Izzo, I was the son, so obviously he
role
spat
play.
in my mouth.
Yeah, she's shorter. She needs direction.
Yeah.
And probably the biggest question in the Big Ten, everyone knows I'm a hater of Bull from Allison's beloved Denver Nuggets. How good does Joel Mariel at Maryland have to be for me to take the Twitter handle from mocking Bull to mocking Chol?
He has to be good. I think I like Maryland, but I think they've been puffed up a little bit. Maybe this is just that I am not used to them being in the Big Ten yet. I don't actually recognize them or Rutgers as Big Ten teams. I think it's wrong.
It is weird
that a New Jersey team is in the Big Ten, but I guess Butler's in the Big East. So what makes sense?
Yeah, nothing makes sense. In Butler, they're waiting for their mom to pick them up in the Big East. A lot of tough school there, and Butler hanging out with Creighton on the side of the playground. So let's move on to the Pac-12. And you know what? What happened to Arizona? I expect them to be this powerhouse. When I go to the odds, I see that Arizona is one of the long shots for the conference. What happened to your beloved Wildcats, Allison?
We got in a little bit of trouble, and so, we're just getting it together, but we got some, great young guys, and I think we're going to surprise everyone this year. I feel I'm always a fan of underdogs, so count us out. It's only going to make us stronger,
Allison, I was saying for Arizona State, I see this guy.
I don't understand. I didn't.
The state at the end, Arizona State.
Sun Devils, Tempe Fever.
I love it.
It's all coming out as garbage. It's not even English that's coming out.
I'm a big fan of this. They're saying player of the year out of Arizona State. He's named after a liquor, Remy Martin.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't think this is going to be great. Do you think out of Arizona State? I know you hate their guts and stuff. Do you see them flashing at all this year?
Do I see them flashing?
Yeah.
Streaking after a big win?
Do you think they're a team that could really, shake it up at all?
Shake up the conference?
Yeah, shake it up.
I mean, I think that they are a team that is going to create a lot of rage.
I can feel the rage
from the inside of my body.
More context. They are the conference favorite. Plus 300.
They probably do kind of good. But that being said, I will root against them until the day that I die.
Okay, fair enough. That is, I mean, we want that personal analysis. If you think Arizona, a presumptive favorite in the conference, needs to rot in hell, tell us they should rot in hell.
I always try to support the pack, you know, unless Arizona's playing against the team in the pack. You know, so like Oregon, Stanford, whatever, like I hate them, but if it's them, then like fine, I'll cheer for the conference, but it's just Arizona State is like the one that I'll never go there for. And it's like, it's part of my problem too. Like mentally, I'm still like a little bit in college and because I look so young. But it's like the thing where it's like, I'll be walking around New York City and then I'll just see someone in an Arizona State shirt and I'll just be like, hey, fuck you, buddy. And then I'd be like, you know what? You're not in Tucson anymore. You really can't get away with that. He just thinks you're psycho.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of do that with Pat Tillman jerseys, but for my own reasons. And, you know, Arizona, the Pac-12, we all know that Bill Walton is kind of the face of this conference. Is this the year that he takes over for Dickie V as the most complained about announcer in college basketball?
I think so. I think it's his time. Dickie V is calling games from home now.
Yep.
It's time to get a guy who is willing to
in his prime.
He's in his prime and maybe he's sleeping outside.
He has never been better. You know, yeah, he is really taking that, you know, to the core. Like there are so many college students who would be sleeping outside to watch games right now. And I think to honor them, Bill is, you know, taking the initiative to just sleep in his yard, you know, for all the ones who cannot.
Take a walk on down to the stadium and then pontificate about some Walt Whitman he read, you know, that's like, that's what you want. And I'd rather have that than Dickie V yelling about diapers. Frankly,
I mean, who doesn't want a color commentator who is also tripping on LSD?
That is what I want.
That'll give you some color, baby.
We all know that Bill Walton overcame childhood stuttering, and when you hear him announce, you wonder, what was it all for?
He's the Joe Biden of announcers.
Leave him alone, baby. He's great. Come on.
To be fair, I consider Bill Walton something of a personal hero. I model every life choice after him. I go to a lot of fish shows, and I keep breaking my right foot. So in the SEC,
like you just stole my life.
Hey, I mean, I saw how well you wore it. I needed to try it on for a size, go to a store. And my goal post-quarantine is to go to a fish show at MSG. So I'm right there with you, Allison.
Oh, yeah, you will be.
Let's get this vaccine.
Let's do it.
I'm going to do it at the fish show. I make sure I get all the substances there. Okay, so in the SEC, we have Kentucky's the big dog.
It's Kentucky and everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, is there a second-place team in this conference?
I mean,
what about LSU? I think LSU might be okay.
I guess so.
That'd be fun.
I guess it's LSU. I think it's LSU by default, frankly. I don't know.
Tennessee.
Yeah, but you got Bruce Pearl there. You know, he'll get mixed up into some funny business before too long. And I don't know.
No, Bruce Pearl's at Auburn.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah. Bruce Pearl is at Auburn, but that's as with Bruce Pearl, it's always for now. You have to put for now on it because you never know when we're going to find out that he had he rented out like a roller rink or something and took the entire team and like 18 high school freshmen that he wants to sign. And oops, now it's a super spreader event. And now Bruce Pearl is out at Auburn.
I mean, that'll make him one of the more successful coaches at Auburn in recent memory. So hats off to Bruce Pearl. So SEC it's all about not watching the conference. It's about seeing if Coach Cal can just achieve his goal and make sure every former Kentucky player is on the New York Knicks.
That's where it's going. That's where we're going. I mean, eventually when Houston is sick of John Wall and Boogie, they will be on their way to the Knicks. And who could be more appropriate as Knicks than an injury-riddled Boogie Cousins? That's what makes more sense than that. Yeah. So you have that. You have Kevin Knox clanking off the side of the backboard. I mean, it's just delightful. You love it. It's the goal.
That is just a beautiful group, and that's what's gonna happen.
Okay, so in the Big East, we know Villanova, UConn, they're perennial contenders. On that same token, is it the 80s? Are the Hoyas back?
I think not quite, but they are on their way. I think the coaching change has helped. I think they're starting to get more players there, but they're on their way. It's a growing program though. It does seem like they're on the right track for the first time in I think a decade. Really? I mean, like we're going back to what the glory days of Jeff Green.
Yeah, the Jeff Green glory days.
Like, is that where we're at with that?
Yeah, for my money, Jeff Green is the best player in Georgetown history.
I see no argument with that.
Yeah, none whatsoever. You like these long shots because Georgia, they're 200-1 for the division. Like by that logic, aren't they worth a flyer?
I think they are. I think they are worth the flyer. And maybe I'm just nostalgic because I like the old starter jackets. But I think like I don't know. I like him. I got a feeling about him.
Yeah, and we just lost John Thompson. Maybe it's he's going to look down from above, blow some baskets. We have a 6-man holding a towel situation. So you guys wrote some questions. I think these are softballs I'll be lobbing. This is no different. So Nate, Allison, I understand that the Catholic Church was able to survive the last Great Plague. Will that experience help Butler, Xavier, and the rest of the Big East establish themselves as a force to be reckoned with?
Well, thank you for asking that. What a question there. I think that's actually going to come in handy. I think this is if we know anything about the Catholic Church, they are obsessed with the past, and that is getting through the Great Plague was part of that. So I look for Villanova to really to continue their reign. I look for Butler to rise up and maybe convert some Indiana basketball fans away, to crusade through Indiana and do some more of that. So I think there's going to be a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of activity in the Big East.
Yeah, I'm going for Creighton. I like the weird. I like the weird. Yeah, I think they're pretty decent and just great. They have great jerseys. So
they do have great jerseys.
Yeah, they're really dope.
Which that is what it's about.
It is
all the sense in the world to me. You seem like a bit Creighton Jays. They seem almost like a MAC school that wandered out of the conference.
That's why I love them.
Yeah. So any other, Big 12, just to go back, one simple question. I don't really care about this conference. I know Kansas is there. I know Texas is really strong this season and they're there, but I really want to know, probably my biggest question in college basketball, how did Oklahoma State get Cade Cunningham?
His brother's an assistant coach, so that probably is a big part of it.
Okay, yeah, there we go. College basketball, there's always an answer to the questions you're wondering about.
What is that guy doing there? It often has to do with a car that he miraculously woke up next to one day, or
I found this in the street.
Or your uncle has a job now. That's another recruiting tactic.
Always.
Yeah, his relative is the highest paid person at the university, and it put him in a good place for him.
And it just makes sense. It's just it doesn't matter that they can't compete in the tournament this year. Who cares?
When your boss once occupied the same womb as you did, it just makes it a little bit easier to make that decision.
Yeah,
I think a big part of it is we've seen the success that Ben Simmons had without having to go play in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Cade Cunningham is predicted to be the number 1 overall pick in this upcoming NBA draft. And Ben Simmons was able to do that. And he never even had to learn how to shoot, and that says a lot about what playing well in college basketball without going far in March can do for you.
Mm-hmm. There's something to be said for being a big fish.
Right.
Okay, that was the best answer I could have expected for the Cade Cunningham. I like talking college basketball because you get to have some fun with corruption. It's like Oliver Stone movies when they were still good.
It's because it's
abolitionists is what they are.
Exactly.
It's not corruption. It's all a matter of perspective. Right. Are they freedom fighters or are they breaking the law?
If
a law is unjust,
Exactly.
There's a problem. Yeah.
It's corruption you can feel good about, you know?
Yeah.
Like when you steal from Walmart.
Right.
That's corruption. That's really good. No.
Yeah, stealing from Walmart, it's great. Hopefully we get that same buzz betting on college hoops this year.
Yeah.
I already won money betting on Oklahoma State this year, so I feel really good about them.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm 0-2 college basketball, but hopefully you two change that. And is there anything we need to like look forward to in the Big Ten ACC Challenge this week?
There's a lot of great games this week. I mean, this is as you said, Big Ten could be the best conference in college basketball this year, and this will be a great test for that, to see just how efficient they are, how many teams are good. You know, Illinois looks good. Wisconsin always has a good program. The aforementioned Iowa and Michigan State are there. But so there are a number of bets to look at this week. That I like. Hold on, let me pull up my bets here. This is what's that? Wednesday. Number of bets that I like. One is one that breaks my heart to say, but I think I have my eye on is Virginia against Michigan State. I think Michigan State has been riding high on this. We're finally putting it all together early, like they've never done before. And they just beat Duke, and they just eked out a couple of wins against University of Detroit Mercy and Western Michigan. So I see Virginia pulling an upset here.
Ooh, that makes sense to me. And Virginia's really stumbled out of the gate, and they need the victory here. Yeah. So I think I'll be on that one.
Yep.
Let me see. Mm-hmm. Any other games you like in that challenge for us, or do we just want to throw our money on Virginia?
Well, I like that one. Let's see. What's another?
I like that one.
What's another one we got there? I mean, I like Iowa against North Carolina. Conversely, getting one back for the big boys, the Big Ten boys. That is. I think I'm excited to see. This is players like Garza and coaches like McCaffrey really get up for these kinds of matchups. We might see like a whole new type of we might get a new cuss word at the end of this one. McCaffrey might coin a new one.
Yeah,
and Garza's chin is ready for this one. It's already there. Yeah,
and the new cuss word will probably describe Luka Garza. It'll be a new version of Lurch. He's the hottest player right out of the gate. He scored 31 points and a half at Iowa's first game. So you see that he's kind of up to these statements. So UNC is a good chance for him to really go after that. Mm-hmm. And I don't see a line for that. I was trying to pull that up, but I don't have it.
I got it at Iowa -4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Iowa -4. I don't mind that whatsoever.
Yeah. I think Virginia Tech against Penn State is also a fun one. I mean, I think if you're going, school shooting versus,
Penn State,
the thing at Penn State.
Yeah,
a lot of 8-year-olds at the Glock. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, you really get all the sides of the scandal. I just wish they let me write the questions for the sideline reporter just one time. I would have a lot of fun with that. And how about big picture? Who do we like in the tournament at large?
Well, we've gone this far without talking about Gonzaga, and I think that's that's something.
Why
that
start now?
We have to talk about Gonzaga because they have a chance to go undefeated. They are one of the most talented teams. They have probably a top 2 or 3 pick playing for them in Jalen Suggs, and it's so easy to pick the number 1 ranked overall team this early. But I watched them play. They have great coaching. They have great rotations. They can score. They can score in different ways. They look good. And Jalen Suggs is insane. Yeah. That coming back from that injury and playing limping around for a meaningless game in November, like he did last week. I don't get it, but the guy's he's got a little Westbrook in him.
Oh yeah.
And that's the reason they're the favorite, plus 650.
Yeah.
And I kind of like Iowa plus 1100, given that they're so big man dominant.
Yeah.
That's not something everyone has an answer for.
No, and it's the sort of thing that you can count on later in the season because a lot of jump shooting teams tend to go far in the tournament because you can get hot and score. But that title game, they're always playing in an NFL stadium with, extra seats added, and it gets mighty drafty in there. People just miss shots. That's why these title games, we keep seeing these title games that are like 60-40, just people clanking for 20 minutes straight to open the game.
Yeah.
I get that. So what do you guys think is a better bet? Michigan State 14-1 to win the title, or Arizona Wildcats 50-1?
I mean, I have already placed a bet on the Wildcats to win it all because I bet with my heart and not my brain sometimes. And also, how are you going to go against those odds? What's a little $10 if it's going to bring me back, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I have to disagree with her.
Michigan State is probably a better bet if you're looking to get your money back. But Arizona is a fun bet,
Michigan State, one thing that is fun about Michigan State, besides the fact that they're a perennial contender and they're a great program, they have we are on a 3-year streak of some of the best names in college basketball that there are available. Our point guard is Rocket Watts.
Ooh, wow. I like that.
It's just fun to say.
That's
just
great
fun to say. The other names, we have names like Aaron Henry, Gabe Brown. These could all be guys in a Faulkner novel. Get into Breslin and watch this team play when that's legal, because they are fun to watch. They also, Michigan State, as an addendum to the coach's son conversation from earlier, they have Fred Hoiberg's son as well.
Ooh, Mayor Jr.
Will that be a problem? Maybe. Maybe having 2 coaches' sons is not good. But
that just
do you know who my father is? Do you know who my father is?
That'll be fun. And any love for Baylor? Baylor, they've bounced back from probably the worst scandal of any college programs. We talk about Penn State, Virginia Tech. Baylor's got them all beat, and now they have the second best odds, 8-1 for the title. Do we want to back Baylor with the full bounce back here?
I might want to wait and bet them after they play the Zags. That's what I think. My money is on the Zags in that game. So I think you'll get a little more value on Baylor post Zags.
And okay. So we'll take Baylor then. We'll wait for the L. We'll bet Gonzaga in that game. We'll bet Iowa against UNC, and we'll bet Michigan State to lose to Virginia. Plus, Allison had a pick. It'll come back to me right now. But we'll be betting the Arizona Wildcats to win the title over MSU. Just
in the title game.
Right now, we're backing it. I want to get in on Allison's good graces before I'll get in with you. Is there a bigger lock in sports right now? Luka Garza plus 375 to win Player of the Year.
I really think because so much of this is about narrative, we have to see how it plays out. I think I think college basketball likes to reward upperclassmen. And so I think there's a good...
Thank you for staying.
Exactly.
We really needed this.
Exactly. That's why you see guys like Jalen Brunson win Player of the Year. And it's like, who? Jalen Brunson? But he was a senior. Yeah. That's what it's about. So I think, Garza is a good pick, but I wouldn't rule out Suggs. I think Suggs looks really good. And a sleeper by that is I'm going to give you is Jalen Johnson.
Okay. And you do say
Jalen's to choose from.
Yeah. Year of Jalen's. There's never been this many good Jalen's.
Yeah. I think you guys put out a over-under of number of Jalen's to go in the top 5 of the NBA draft. So how many Jalen's will that be?
So I'm going to put that over-under at 2.5 Jalen's. I think there are, as I said, Jalen Suggs, there's Jalen Johnson, and there's also, he's not in college basketball. He's playing for the G League right now, but Jalen Green would be a freshman.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Jalen Green, and they're all just trying to be second. And we can even put the Eagles in there. We'll make it a Jalen parlay.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for, folks.
There you go.
Well, Nate, Allison, thank you for coming on with us. We will be talking to you throughout the season, and we're going to put you guys against each other. I know you're up for it. I think it'll make for some great content, and I can't wait.
Yay.
Thank you so much for having us. I can't wait either.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks, y'all.
All right, go blue. Later.
Go green.
All right, that was Nate Fridson and Alison Klemp. we had a good time with that talk, Brian, right?
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
And like we had a little bit of the lag early on. We figured it out. We corrected it on the fly. So if I seemed like I had a bout of closed head injury at the beginning of that interview, that is the reason why. But I just wanted to thank all you guys for tuning in. Brian, I was so glad I got to share your big day with you. And we will be back on Wednesday with TP on the Walk On. Hopefully, we will have the Sklar brothers coming on with us to help prepare me for the Michigan-Ohio State game. And then we will be joined by Eli Sayers to talk all about the college football season. So, Brian, I will miss you.
Joel.
Yeah, and it looks like the Steelers are about to lose a game. So, yeah, Washington did it, 23-17. It is written. Down go the Steelers. All right, finally. Okay, so maybe the Chiefs are going to lay the smackdown on the Dolphins next week. We got to take that back.
I'll change that back.
You know, strong opinions weekly held. You have to evolve, and we will evolve every Monday, Wednesday, Friday here at the Walk On via the Props Network. For Brian Allen Mitchell, this is Joel Walkowski walking off.